Dimensional Breach, Rising Waters, and the roles the Scar-Striped all have in common? Well, dear reader, they're all banned. Banned on a certain local game store's ban list for Commander. I've had it brought to my attention that a game store in America has such a bizarro, weird, like not even quite Commander special rules list that it makes the game like unplayable. Whilst reading it, I was laughing. At one point, I felt myself blink incredulously and realized I was doing it. I realized I probably should have read it live to camera because it's so weird. I just want to preempt all of this with I'm not trying to shit on any individual here. Right? Someone has written this up at some point because they are spiteful and bitter about some things that have happened to them in games of Commander, whatever. But I'm not trying to hurt on the shit on them, okay? And secondly, I just want to point out that I kind of hate house rules anyway. This will probably be its own video at some point soon. I don't care if you have your own custom formats with your friends, or all of your friend group have come to the conclusion that the game is better played with a certain rule in place. Ultimately, it's your game, it's your fun, do what the fuck you want. However, I do think that Magic the Gathering, even when we're playing in a multiplayer format that uses cards that were never designed for multiplayer in the first place, I think Magic is quite a good game anyway before we start messing with it. I don't know if we all have to have game design questions constantly where we try and implement new rules to change how the mulligan system works, or how lands interact with each other, or the RNG system, because all of these things are inherent to Magic, and it makes Magic pretty damn good. I'm not saying Magic is perfect. I'm not saying there are ways that Magic could be improved. I'm just saying that the average Magic player isn't going to achieve that through their 5 minutes of thought before trying to enforce or inflict some sort of house rule on their friends. So with that out of the way, my Patreon's link down below. If you want to join my Discord and get involved with my content, let's look at the Wharf casual list. So first up, there are 3 levels to play at the Wharf. The Wharf appears to be a game store in Michigan. No slight to the owner or whoever works there. I just think your house rules are silly. Oh, I'm excited. There's 3 levels of play. First of all, there's T-Rex level, which is normal Commander. That's where you get to play all versions of Commander. Rapture level, which is Wharf casual. Oh god, we're already introducing terms that I don't know. This isn't helping people get into the game, is it? And Vicious Cat, non-modified pre-constructed decks only. The names must come from somewhere, so I'm not going to riff on those too much, but I find it interesting that you've got 3 modes, right? You've got Wharf Casual, which has a fucking 1,000 extra rules, which we're about to come to, Precons only, or everything else. So if you have a middling, not very good 5 out of 10 customized Precon, you are meant to play in the same pods as CDH decks. That's stupid. So, T-Rex level follows the normal ban list. Rapture level play follows the official Wizards ban list and has the following rules changed and additional banned cards. First up, infinite or near infinite combos are banned. They have an explanation of what an infinite or near infinite combo is, even though I don't think it quite covers everything. So we're already into the rules don't quite work territory, and it's at the mercy of the arbitration of a local member of staff. And also, if you go into an infinite loop, purposefully or not purposefully, they exile both cards involved in the loop. Now, I've seen this rule implemented to make like 300-person games of Commander work, the Grand Melees, at like Command Fests in Europe, but that's because you can't have just one person infinitely kill 300 people. That would really fuck with the whole notion of playing a big Commander game. But that's kind of an intricacy of that format. Doing that for Commander, I think, is kind of dumb. But it's not the worst thing on this list. Commander damage, a Commander's max Commander damage per combat phase, cannot exceed the Commander's printed attack value. So in essence, if you were to hit someone with a big powered up Commander, you do the damage, but only the printed number on the card counts as Commander damage. It's not the most unreasonable thing I've ever heard, but it does neuter like 1,000 different Voltron and powered up decks. And it also means that infinite life, or I guess in this case, not infinite, but like, I don't know, 7 doubling seasons and a Soul Warden kind of infinite life where we get to a number that you can't write on a calculator. That's just way better than any other combat-based strategy because you can't kill people with combat damage. Combat damage is there to moderate the problem with people gaining 50,000 life. During the course of the entire game, if effect would allow you to take an extra turn, you may only take 1 extra turn, and then you get an emblem that says you can't take extra turns for the rest of the game. You can't time warp, e-whip back, time warp, and time warp again. That's right, taking loads of extra turns is something that a lot of casual players dislike. I don't think it really is that much of an issue in the game overall, but again, I kind of see where a casual player might try to force everyone else to play on the same even keel that they do, where they don't play the things that one player finds frustrating. In this case, extra turn spells. The next rule change is that storm counts cannot proceed past 1. So all storm spells are now off the table. They just don't do anything because storm spells are designed to allow you to cast lots of spells, trigger the storm and get multiple copies, to storm kill people, or just to get value out of a weather the storm or whatever. Yep, that's right, another combo gets the chopping block and you can't play it in this absolutely wild format that I'm calling Shit Commander. Cascade is banned. Anything with Cascade is considering not to have Cascade. Sorry, I'm not even reading it properly because it's so funny. So the first couple, I know some of you are thinking those first few seem all right. I don't mind. I might try that with my playgroup. And now we've got to Cascade doesn't exist. Someone's lost the first sliver like twice and they have fucking lost their mind. Annihilator has been advised to say it only exists on cards that are cast from hand. So in essence, if you were to reanimate or show and tell or sneak into play an Eldrazi with an Annihilator, it doesn't have it unless you cast it. So cheating into play doesn't have it. It's an interesting way to fix Annihilator. I say interesting. It's an obvious way to fix Annihilator as a mechanic if you think it needs fixing. I don't, but there you go. Another mechanic that feels bad to the average casual player, and thus, in this game store, it's no longer allowed. Anytime a spell or ability that destroys, exiles, or sacrifices, or changes controller, or removes 2 or more anytime a spell or ability that destroys, exiles, sacrifices, changes controller, or removes 2 or more lands in a turn, that one or more opponent's control will have the following added to the stack after resolution of the spell or ability or as a split-second effect. Yes, that was incredibly hard to read, and I tried 4 times. I think the sentence is just fucking dire. Basically, they're putting an ability on the stack that returns any lands that are blown up beyond the first one. Sure, whatever. This is just beyond me. I get that they don't want Armageddons to work, but I think they ban all of those anyway, so they're just trying to like soft ban or ban out or not make work anything that might fuck with lands. Sure. Lands that become creatures and die due to the controlling player's choice to attack or block with them would die as a result. If you're forced to attack though, they put them back into play using the ability above. I think the thing that bugs me the most about this shit is that we're adding so many extra layers of fucking nonsense to Magic that it's no longer Magic. There are 1,000,001 caveats that are just too difficult to explain or understand. Like, Magic has its own level of complicatedness that you need to get past to play anyway. This is just exaggerating that tenfold, where you have bespoke rules for one place that is fucking the length of my penis. My penis is massive, by the way. The length of my penis, and is also bollocks. A player loses the game if they acquire 20 or more poison counters instead of 10. Oh, fuck. This one's going to make some people sympathetic to the cause, because loads of people want this change in Commander. I don't, because I think that Magic kind of just works as it is, because it doesn't really fucking matter and it's a real casual game mode, right? But anyway, to unpack my full feelings on this, and I'm pretty sure I've done a video on this in the past, essentially a lot of the cards in Magic that do infect or poison damage are often aimed at doing a small amount to one person by giving a creature infect, for example, or asking you to pump a creature to go to combat and attack someone, and thus it's actually quite difficult to infect a whole table out of the game. The cards aren't designed to kill entire tables of people. There are obviously exceptions to this, like Triumph of the Horde, which is a conversation in and of itself, but essentially I don't feel that infect has to change, because actually killing an entire table with it requires a lot of hoops to be jumped through. Poison is now 20, not 10. It's probably the best change on here in my opinion, and I still wouldn't add it to the main game. The following Planeswalkers have abilities changed. Ajani Vengeance can no longer destroy or target players' lands, that's removed. Dovin Bond can't get an emblem at -7. Narset Transcendent can't get an emblem. Tameo Field Researcher says third ability is altered. You can now use the third ability to draw 3 cards. The second half of the ability to get an emblem with you can cast online cards from your hand without paying the mana cost is removed. That's right, we're erratering Magic cards now. Teferi Temple Archmage says third ability -10 removed. Vraska's ability, her ultimate, removed. Tameo the Moon Sage, third ability, so Tameo gets 2 erratas for some reason. Maybe someone who works there like really likes Tameo. You get an emblem with you have no maximum hand size, and whenever a card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, you may return it to your hand. The second part of that ability is removed, so you can only get an emblem that says you have no maximum hand size. This makes the game so fucking bad if random cards are errated at a store level. You just add a card you open from a pack that you thought was cool in the list slot, and then your local game store walks up to you and says, "No, you cunt. We've removed half the abilities. You fool!" Teferi Hero of Dominaria, no ultimate. Ventus Sojourner, no ultimate. Vraska Golgari Queen, no ultimate. Nicol Bolas, the Ravager, spelt incorrectly on the website that these rules are written up on, being called Nicol Bolas. Not only did they not get his name right, which is just, that's so inconsiderate and rude, but they've also removed his ultimate. Siona, Captain of Filius. Oh my fucking god, this isn't even a Planeswalker. Second ability has been changed to once per turn per aura. Whenever an aura you control becomes attached to a creature you control, create a 1/1 human soldier creature token. Why? And then we come to the best part of all of this, the bespoke ban list. for the game Wolf, Michigan. Get ready. Here we go. Asarak the Archlich, Aetherflux Reservoir, Animar Soul of Elements, Angie Falconwrath, Apocalypse, Approach of the Second Sun, Armageddon, Atla Palani, Nest Tender, Aura Shards, Axis of Mortality, Back to Basics, Boral, Chief of Compliance, Bendor Break, Blight Steel Colossus, Blood Moon, Boil, Boiling Seas, Bolus Citadel, Boom Bust, Brago King Eternal, Brea Ethereum's Shaper, Captive Audience, Catastrophe, Tulane Teller of Tales. Every time I feel like I'm getting the gist of it, we haven't finished by the way, I'm just taking a little break. Every time I get the gist of it, it's just combo and land destruction. There's just a random like value commander or something on the list. Fuck me. It's like one personal vendetta against decks that have slightly made them salty in the past. Circu Demir Lobotomist, Coalition Victory, Consecrated Sphinx, Contamination, Crater Hoof Behemoth. Oh, fuck. Are we just not wanting games to end now? Cyclonic Rift, Deadeye Navigator, Decree of Annihilation, Derevery Empirical Tactician, Desolation Angel, Devastation, Dimensional Breach, Doubling Season. Oh, you bastards. Doubling Cube, Edric Spymaster of Trest, Elsha the Infinite, Emry Lurker of the Lock, Emry Lurker of the motherfucking Lock, are you joking? Epicenter, Fall of the Fran, Felidar Sovereign, Flash, Forbid, Fraying Omnipotence, From the Ashes, Geralt Teague, Gaia's Cradle. Okay, there it is. There it is. General Tazri, Gave of Guru of Spores, God Eternal Kefner, Godo Bandit Warlord, Golos Tireless Pilgrim, Grand Arbiter Augustine IV, Skrenzo Dungeon Warden, Heartless Hidetsugu, Hive Mind, Hakori, Impending Disaster, Iona Shield of Emeria. That's already on the ban list, but I guess they added them to make sure you have to check 2 websites to make sure your stuff's not banned. That was number 62 on the list. We've got a little while to go. Jace Vryn's Prodigy, and the back end is also banned. Jace Wielder of Mysteries, Jalaven Evalia's Scourge, Jehoira Weatherlight Captain, Jockalorps, Khan Liberate, Keldon Firebombers, Kenneth the Returned King, Kest Dissident Mage, Corvold Fakehurst King, Krom Ludwig's Opus, Karik, Son of Yawgmoth, Kaikar Wind's Fury, Laboratory Maniac, Liliana's Contract, Maelstrom Nexus, Memnarch, Magister Sphinx, Makes the Moon, Makes the Tabernacle, Mana Geyser, Mana Reflection, Master of Cruelties, Meron of Clan what? Excuse me? Mindslaver, Mind's Dilation, Mirror Universe, Mythics of the Amagnus, Momir Vig Simic Visionary, Momir fucking Vig is banned, Myojin of Infinite Rage, Najila the Blade Blossom, Narset Enlightened Master, Nevermore, Niv Mizzet Reborn, Niv Mizzet Payroon, Notion Thief, Nixplanation, Oath of Teferi for number 100, and we're not done. Obliterate, Omniscience, Una Queen of the Fae, Paradox Engine, Pendle Mists, Phased Intouchable, Peer Imaginative Rascal, Pox, Price Speak of Vanafa, Primal Surge, Prosh Sky Raider of Kerr, Perforos God of the Forge, Quiet as Spike, Ramos Dragon Engine, Rashmi Eternity's Grafter, Revenants of War, Realm Razor, Revels and Witches, Revival Revenge, Rising Waters, Ruination, Rule of Law, Mystic Study, Escape Shift, Sign of the Ur-Dragon, Selvala Heart of the Wilds, Serious Sanctum, Shame of the Forgotten Ways, Shivan Harvest, Sidisi Brute Tyrant, Sidisi Undead Vizier, with both Sidisis, Sisei with Light Captain, Cold Clamp, Smokestack, Sorin Markov, Stasis, Stagcorp, Sunder, Tabernacle, Pedal Veil, Tagum, Ujutai's Master, Tana the Bloodsower, Task of the Golden Fang, Teferi Temple Archmage, Test of Endurance, Thassa's Oracle, The First Sliver, Get Monster, Myrioplasm, Thousand Year Storm, Thassa's Trian Hero, Toothy Imaginary Friend, Trollgar the Famine Incarnate, Tree of Perdition, Tsunami, Timna the Weaver, Urges the High Lord Artificer, Varol Scarstriped, Vile Smash the Fierce, and Vitreous the Veiled. That's 160 bans. Have you guessed it yet? We ain't done. Vorinclex Voice of Hunger, Wake of Destruction, Walking Ballista, Wildfire, Winter Orb, World Slayer, Worldfire, World Gorger Dragon, Xantia Sleeper Agent, Yarok the Desecrated, Yidris Maelstrom Wielder, sorry, I always get that wrong, Yisan the Wonder Bard, wow, and Zur the Enchanter. That's right, they've banned 172 cards, as well as adding like, what was it? They errated 12 different cards, one of which is banned, I believe. Yes, Teferi Temple Archmage is both banned and errated. Someone really fucking hates Teferi the Temple Archmage. Look, whatever. If people enjoy playing like this, sure. I can't think of anything worse. I'd rather shit in my hands and clap than play with this many added rules. But like adding that many layers on top of Magic is just weighing it down underneath someone's hubris. Someone thinks they're smarter, cleverer, a better game designer than anyone at Wizards of the Coast or any other member of the community, anyone on the Darcy, anyone on the CAG, any creator out there, somebody has got a power trip. I guess the one takeaway from all of this is that we can use it to kind of reflect on where Commander is at the moment in terms of ban lists. A lot of people like to criticize the existing ban list saying it's not enough, and I don't necessarily agree with that. I actually think that taking things off of it and making the actual ban list around Commander be as minimal as possible is a good thing. If anything, juxtaposing the current situation that we have within Commander, where we're trying to have cultural attitudes towards how we play games with our friends and with randoms at the game store, if we could juxtapose that with this draconian, overbearing, power-tripping way of banning out anything that you've ever lost to, I think it really highlights how having the format be freeform and open and a social thing is nothing but good. I'm going to leave it there because I'm not trying to make personal slights on people. I just do think this has a bit of a power trip vibe to it, and it just sounds absolutely miserable. But it's so crazy and so wild, I just had to share it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and let me know, does one of your local game stores have house rules? Are any of them as insane as this? Because I would love to know. I'd love to do a follow-up video where we talk about more insane house rules, because this is sheer madness. I've been Vince, PleasantKenobi on the internet. Check out my links in the description below to check out sponsors and the Patreon if you want to get involved with my Discord. And I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ta for now.